Kensil Culture, Puppets, Props, Puns, Podcasts.
Hey, hi everybody, and welcome back again to another edition of Kensil Culture. It is the pop culture magazine, and Kensil Culture, and it's...
Hey, Wid. It's John Kensil here.
Kensil Culture, John Kensil.
Hey, thanks for listening.
I'm the legendary
watching.
Wid, and he's done playing with his toys over there.
I'm working on a film. But
yeah. He's old G. Okay. That's the end of everything.
Gott in Himmel.
You're making a film, John. What's the film about?
Oh, I'm making a film? Oh,
About constipation that hasn't come out yet? I'm sorry. I know that's an old joke, but I like that one.
On the last show, right,
Yeah?
we talked about my friend Pelvin and Wildwood, New Jersey.
Pelvin and Wildwood, New Jersey, the birthplace of rock and roll.
One time, me and my friend Bal Harris
Uh-huh.
and Pelvin were down at a club called the Tides. I think I told this story, too, a couple weeks ago, where somebody had taken the stickers off the back of my friend's car that said 110 Pennsylvania Infantry and rearranged the letters to spell smoke pot. So one time we were down there.
Wait a minute. He had John Bircher had something written on the back of his car?
He's not a John Bircher. He's a Civil War, Revolutionary War reenactor.
Oh, okay.
And his regiment is
John Bircher.
Yes, his regiment was called the 110 Pennsylvania Infantry.
Oh, that's just a code word for
Well, it was
John
across the whole
Bircher's.
bumper of his 78 Impala.
And what did it say?
110 Pennsylvania Infantry, and someone
God
took all the
bless
letters
him.
off and put back on the back of the car, smoke pot, right? So, this story has a point. Okay, I'll use this here as a demonstration. So, one time, my friend, Bal Harris, Pelvin, met these two hot girls at the hanging out. We're, teenagers, okay? Well, my friend Pelvin said to the one girl, hey, baby, would say you and I go for a walk? And she goes, I don't think so. And he got all mad at her. Okay. And he stormed out of the room. And he had on a red bandana and black Ray-Ban sunglasses. He stormed out. Typical Philadelphia guy, right? And he comes back in the room while my friend Bal Harris and I are talking to the two girls. And they're really hot back then, right? And he walks right up to the girls and he goes, hey, man, these two girls are nothing but DTs, dick teases, bitches, right? And he stormed out of the room, okay, right? And let's just say this is the wall here, right? He stuck his head back on the door 3 times and went, bitches, bitches, bitches.
Here's bitches.
Yes.
Okay, if he stuck his head in like that. I didn't know that you were hip to that language. I know you're a Kensington guy. You like to say, Acme and,
Batteries.
he's psycho.
Yeah.
I know you have all those things down, but I didn't know that you were old G. That means gangster, buddy.
He's right. If our listeners across the United States, you can hear an accent. I have a Philadelphia accent. There's a very cleaner chain of convenience stores called Wawa's in the area here, and they're coming up and down the East Coast. But it's very funny when you come to Philadelphia, and when the waitress, the girl, the clerk wants you to come forward, she'll say, "Next in line." Aye.
They have them down in Australia, but they're called mamas. Okay?
Are they really?
Well, upside down.
Oh,
O-W. You see, that's the ticket right over there. But I didn't know that you were so, so gangster, so down with the lingo, calling bitches and stuff. That's, you're starting to scare me, John. You're dressed up a little bit.
Oh,
but you see,
nice.
I know these things about guys like you who try to assimilate a little bit too much, because I at one time was a great follower of Yo Raps. Okay. I thought it was a cooking show about making alternatives to sandwiches, but it turned out that it was some pretty good music. There's a couple of songs. Parents Just Don't Understand on Yo Raps. Now, that's not like, Cop Killer or anything like that. And It Takes Two, okay? That's,
I once got busy in a CompuServe bathroom.
Oh, okay. That must have been on the alternative reality that you're in. But here it is, Yo Raps, okay? They got Shake Your Thing, High Roller, okay? And here's one for Ed McGonigal, Life is Too Short, okay? I'm sorry about that, Ed. Okay, but here's my favorite one, De La Soul. You know who De La Soul is? Okay, they're actually making a comeback. They're going to be in a casino around here. De La Soul. But
Which shift?
They have a song called Potholes in My Lawn, okay? How romantic, Potholes in My Lawn. I mean, it's not like getting funky, Wild Wild West, My Philosophy, talking all that jazz. But you know what? You know who my favorite...
the Morganti two-step?
I'm into the old-time stuff.
Right? Oh, what are you into?
I'm into the old-time stuff, John.
What are you into?
Look,
wait. Oh, look. Yeah, once again, he has the green screen. Keep us in here. Keep it in. Oh, my God. Ghost cigarettes.
Wait. Okay, here. Do I got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, or is it this way?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, this is just like that. This is Tupac and Big E. Tupac and Biggie on the green screen. This is a bowel movement. Okay, no. I'm sorry, John.
Oh, no, he's good. Wid's terrific there doing that. Wid gets nervous when he drives, so I drive him around a lot.
Yo Raps.
And we get back to South Philadelphia, which is weird, too, because I'm tired when I hear people from out of town in Philadelphia go, Rocky Balboa, the tough pugilist from South Philly when he was from Kensington, different neighborhood, about 20 miles away. Anyway, I dropped Whittle off one time. No, wait, we stopped at a 24-hour Walgreens.
Okay, yeah.
Right? This is a totally true story.
Walgreens was actually the guy who would sell the legal liquor during the Prohibition for Al Capone.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
But it's not
Walgreens. Look it up.
Does it have anything to do with the Walton family from Walmart?
No.
I never knew that. I don't know.
No, Walgreens was actually a guy, last name of a guy who used to buy the liquor off of Al Capone, and they would sell it with a prescription because you had it. So there was loopholes there.
Oh, well, very cool. Well,
always loopholes, John.
Well, Whit and I go into this Walgreens about 1:35 in the morning.
Oh.
And there's always weirdo characters in this Walgreens late at night.
We fit right in.
In fact, it's weird. If you're listening in any other cities, I guarantee in Chicago, Los Angeles, people can say the same thing. You go to a 24-hour pharmacy anywhere at 2 in the morning, you see weirdos and crazy people. I was there one time with Wade, and a father was shopping with his 5-year-old son. Uh-huh. And the kid was so happy about telling his dad he found the cereal that he wanted. And he goes, Daddy, I found that Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right? And the father had no idea what he was talking about. And the father said, you found the Cinnamon Hootie Waddies? So anyway.
Is that like Count Dracula?
Yeah, Cinnamon Hootie Waddies, right? So Whit and I are there, just go back to the cigarettes. And a kid was buying a pack of Newports, all right? We walk up to the counter. The kid was pushing stacks of dimes and pennies this big. And he had about 15 up there. He counted all this change in his pocket to buy a pack of cigarettes. And
he was jingling.
Well, that's exactly. Well, cigarettes are expensive. I bet it was like $13 for the cigarettes, $13.48.
Ridiculous. Yeah, in a Walgreens.
Yeah, right. And he has them all up there, right? And it must have took him forever to like stack them out like that. And there's people waiting in line behind him, and he gets all done counting the hundreds of pennies out. And the clerk goes, "You have ID?" The kid goes, "What? ID? And he goes, "Yes." And the kid goes, "No, I don't." He goes, "Well, you can't get the cigarettes." And the kid turns to me and goes, "Hey, man, can you buy the cigarettes for me?" And the guy behind the counter goes, "No, he cannot." He's from Scotland. "No, he can." I'm not going to sound racist, right? Yeah, "No, he cannot. He gets a $10,000 fine, and I get a $10,000 fine, right?" And the kid's in front of me and Wid. The kid goes, F you, and he takes all the change and put it in his pants, and he jingled away. And he goes, "I run with the Crips. We're going to go back here and tear this place up." And I always thought,
you ain't safe no more.
the kid come jingling into the Crips hideout. "Hey, man, what do you say, man?" "Oh, man, what is it, Jingles?" He goes, "He wouldn't sell me cigarettes." Look, it's getting weird over there. Hey, wait, that's weird, too. Speaking of little things about Philadelphia, check this tie out. The whole gang's talking about it in the tie chat rooms.
I'm going to... I don't really like to do this, but this is a beautiful tie, okay? And it is... I love my ties. I can't.
Yes, I like my ties too.
I went to Catholic school, and I learned how to tie before I learned how to,
I like my
fly.
ties.
But these are all like little, places in beautiful, beautiful Philadelphia area.
There's a methadone clinic.
That's not the methadone clinic, John. Yeah. This is nice. Look, the Liberty Bell right over there. Okay, and. Got a hairline cracking. Look, Ben Franklin himself is right over there. They named the bridge after this man, okay? They found bodies in his backyard that he would do experiments on, or let other people do them.
Benjamin
right over here,
Frankenstein.
Broad Street, and the famous steps of Rocky. Okay, they don't say it right over there, but the famous steps of Rocky when he ran up there. Remember?
Yes.
Everybody in Philadelphia has run up those steps. Have you run up those steps?
Yes, I have.
And it's a lot of bills too. But at one time, I stayed right across from the Rocky statue. Now, I don't want to say too much about it now because I think it deserves an entire segment.
Yes.
Okay. It was actually first bought to here. It cost Sylvester Stallone $150,000 to have this Pittsburgh artist make a Rocky statue, and it's dynamic. Okay. And they didn't want it on top of the steps at the elitist, to say the least, Philadelphia Museum of Art. Okay, so they made him move it to the Spectrum, and he moved it back to where it is now.
It's to the right. It's still in front, but it's to the right on the ground level of the art museum. And you're right. It does deserve its whole segment, but it's weird. Like, it's judging what art is, even though it's a movie, it's a commercial movie, but it's I don't know. What's this? This is. There's Rocky right there.
Now this is just a prop illustration of what everybody does when they get to the top of the Rocky steps. They run up the Rocky steps. They get up there. So.
Oh wait, I paid $150,000 for this. He can move his eyes, his mouth moves, and he's circumcised. I had 3 years of Bible camp.
Maybe that's Rocky 8, okay? Rocky 8, the future.
No. Wid, if you go to Wid's Facebook page, he has something very cool in his profile picture. And I've seen this in Los Angeles. I've seen it in New York. I actually seen it in Chicago. You're in the middle of town, major intersection, and you look down in the asphalt, and it's a piece of, looks like white tile stuck into the size of a license plate with these weird terms in it. All right, and I never knew what that meant. I thought it was like a city marker, like, hey, there's a gas main under here, or hey, there's
It was conspiracy theory sort of jargon where we did not go to the moon, and that it was that we're going to Jupiter, and then that's something to do with Stanley Kubrick, where you always hear rumors that Stanley Kubrick was the one who filmed the phony moon landing, okay,
right.
which they have all sorts of theories on that, and I guess that was one of them too. But this guy was, I think he worked at
The guy did this?
Yeah.
Oh.
The guy who put these tiles. Right. Now the tiles are like this big, and it gives some sort of warning.
Well, yeah. Well, it's weird. And it said they're called the Tony B tiles. TOMY. Tony B. They started making their appearance in the late 1980s.
Okay.
All right. They were started. Someone said in the Baltimore Sun and the Philadelphia Inquirer, going, "What does this mean? Is it an advertising campaign?"
Okay.
All right, and you're right though. It was referencing Stanley Kubrick movies, the Planet Jupiter, and Arnold J. Tony B. But that sounds like a fake name. But people found them in Kansas City, Boston, Richmond, Virginia, Philadelphia, Edison, New Jersey, Indiana, Buffalo, San Francisco, California. Oh my God, it's like every major city in here, including McGonigalburg. And but it's very neat. People were. I'm trying to think when the last tiles were around.
Well,
in 2016,
they were all over. I had read that it was a guy who worked for the city of Philadelphia, and he worked on the traffic division. Okay, and when they put down that crosswalks and parking whites and all that stuff, it was made out of the same sort of material.
Yes.
Where it goes down. So it theorized that the guy had, because they would be placed like right in the middle of traffic or that he had a car with that he could reach. He had a hole in like the floor, right, and where he would prepare these things and press them down into the sidewalk. So
they do eventually get smushed in from like trucks and stuff, and
I think it was like somebody's manifesto.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, but it was put down in in an abbreviated way, and just go into all those cities. They were trying to figure out, there was a lot of copycat guys too.
Oh yeah,
people who would do this with insufficient material.
Yeah, and you still see it. It's weird too because they're faded, but it remind you, it's been 40 years since they've been showing up.
I think the ones that I took a picture of at Broad Street and Snyder was a mayor of Philadelphia at one time. Snyder, I think those are reproductions. Okay, I think that that we have so much technology in the art world now that you can reproduce those a lot easier than like in the 70s.
Oh, and it's just weird. There's a guy on South Street with all the mirrors. He does like the Tony B style stuff. Yeah, the mirrors on the wall. But WID.
Yeah.
You just mentioned 40 years ago. All right. And people do like this stuff. The worst of lists, like worst movies, worst TV shows. Okay. I love the worst. I found a site here called the worst TV shows of the 70s.
Okay.
All right.
Now we can watch them all in, I know a lot of people in our audience were around in the 70s, and a lot of people in our audience were not. Okay. But you can catch everything now on the
YouTube.
internet. But, but give us some of these warning signs that we want to stay away from and not waste our time binge watching.
Well, there was a popular show on late 60s to the early 80s called Hee Haw. And it was for people who love country music. And it was like real, like Buck Owens country music, right? And
it was real. I mean, Buck Owens and
Roy Clark.
And also, and Goober was on it too.
Yeah, and it was a popular show. It was in syndication.
It was like a hillbilly laugh-in.
Yeah, and they would tell stupid jokes. You'd see like two guys. The guy would stand in front of a what's it, that fence, that picket fence, and he would say, my wife ran off with my best friend, right? And the guy goes, you bit her? And he goes, yeah, and I bit him too. And then we got hit in the ass by the board. It was just awful.
That was Junior Samples, who Junior Samples was an actual hick.
Yes.
Was an actual guy from the country. They
it's
and
hick American.
they used him. I think he And he would actually be they would make fun of him on the TV show, but that's how he was in real life. He was wear bib overalls and go for the girls and
I'll give you
drinking
$1.
moonshine. And how about one of my inspirations to keep the pay on your hat.
Yeah, the receipt.
What was her name?
Minnie Pearl.
Minnie Pearl. Okay, was what a great name. And she had the price tag on her hat, and that always mystified me. But they had actual, they had actual, beautiful women on there.
Oh yeah, well that's what we're getting to. Yeah, well they
had they called them the hee-haw honeys.
Exactly, and they're really hot, big-chested, like Lonnie Anderson country women. Yeah, and of course they had Lulu. And when your name's Lulu, she looked like an RC Cola machine with a wig on it. She looked like a mailbox.
Lulu was a woman of size who.
She looked like a jukebox that became human.
My brothers and I, when we were growing up, we would say, yeah, you love Lulu, okay? Yeah.
Well,
you want to woo-woo with Lulu, okay? So, Lulu was the butt of all jokes about size.
Well, to capitalize in the mid-'70s, they had like, it was Charlie's Angels and other, women with big chests and had windy hair running on the beach. In the early, all right, well, they had a spin-off show called the Hee Haw Honeys. And I think it was like Barbara Mandrell's sisters, but there's a bunch of women. Right there. That's Lulu. I think she's still alive. She lost a lot of weight, but it was just
looks a little like Toady Fields. Toady Fields.
Yeah, she looks like Godzilla's sister. But so it had a spin-off show.
She looks like Queen Kong. No, I'm sorry. Lulu, we shouldn't be making fun. Look at us.
I was standing behind her at the Old Country Buffet, and she looked at me and she said, "Get your own."
Who's Jerome?
Anyway, so they had a show called Hee Haw Honey. It was awful, and it was just like running around and saying stupid comments, like doing dumb blonde jokes.
It was like a laugh-in with country thing, but they had actual, country artists that were on the charts and everything. I mean, they had Grandpa. Remember Grandpa? He got killed in a drug deal, I think. Grandpa.
Green.
There was a lot of scandal in that.
String Bean got caught.
String Bean got,
Green Bean. But the Hee Haw Honeys was noted.
Sweet Pea
was noted for. Kathy Lee Gifford was one of them.
Kathy Lee Gifford was the big tall girl who was
with Regis.
Batman? No, I know. Kathy Lee
that's
Gifford.
the other one. That's Kathy Lee Crosby.
Okay, yeah.
But
I get my Kathy Lees all mixed up. It's I'm going to complain on The View about that.
But there's one more I want to tell you about too. Oh God, wait, what is Flatbush?
Flatbush is in Brooklyn.
All right,
it's Flatbush Avenue.
But I always hear you watch.
There was a lot of dirty jokes about Flatbush. I'm going to let you and you out there, your imagination. Just what kind of jokes could you make about Flatbush?
I don't know. Anyway, so there's a show. There's a show called Flatbush. Like every time you see a movie, like the guy, a war movie. Hey, what's your name? I'm from Flatbush. And I can't wait to go see the Dodgers this year. He's getting killed first. Well, here in the 70s, there's a show called Flatbush, right? Noted for having Adrian Zmed in it, who was in Grease 2, and T.J. Hooker.
I love Grease 2.
Right? And it's awful. I think, there's Tom Wopat. But remember, had a show in the 70s of a bunch of guys, handsome guy, regular guy, jock, and the ever-present nerd. But it's called six guys who call themselves the Fungos. They live in Flatbush.
I thought that was a snack.
Well,
the Fungos. Can I have one of your Fungos?
Well, the head of the Brooklyn Borough Presidents Society.
Hence Brooklyn
Borough.
Flatbush.
Oh, okay, right. He publicly demanded that the show be pulled because it was offensive stereotypes. He hated the nerd, right? But I remember seeing it. It was just awful.
So their offensive stereotype was the nerd? Like,
No, it was all like, hey, Tony, what are you doing there?
Yeah, it was
Gabagool.
probably heavy Italian. Hey, which reminds us, right
Yes.
over there,
Yes.
that we have a sponsor now, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Right over there,
Can I
yeah.
say their name?
No,
Nunzio's down by the docks.
tell them about it, John.
This is from our sponsor, Nunzio's down by the docks.
Down, Nunzio's, down by the docks, okay? And right over here,
What's that in the back of it?
what are you asking for, John? What are you asking for, all right? Could you do me a favor, John? Just shut your pie hole.
Gottenhimmel.
I got you. No, it's not a funny joke. It's the delivery. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
Pie hole, my indeed.
Hey, come on. You want a piece of this?
Oh, that's my favorite pizza.
Tombstone.
Tombstone pizza. Tombstone pizza.
And the rest is gravy.
Oh, Gottenhimmel.
No, but hey, visit Luigi's. Down
No,
by the...
Nunzio's. Well, his brother's Luigi. Nunzio and Luigi.
Why do you stereotype the Italian Americans? They don't like that, okay? You're probably one of those radicals that want to take down the Christopher Columbus statues.
No. I Christopher, he's that. Oh, that guy. The worst. All right, the show. I used to like the show as a little kid.
Yeah.
All right, it's called Holmes and Yo-Yo. All right, it was about a detective, like it's San Francisco, and his new partner. And there's a big hulking actor with a big jaw named John Shuck. He was in the movie MASH.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Okay. I know John Shuck.
It looks like someone put an air hose in Joe Piscopo. Just made his head real big, but that's what he looks like on Joe Piscopo if he's on steroids, like, head-wise. His head looks like a big...
If Joe Piscopo only did his Sinatra imitation,
Yes.
he still belongs on the Comedy Hall of Fame. I mean, it was hilarious, and it was right on, and it was, and it was very well executed. I mean, he had a great voice for that, and he was a Jersey native, so, people can't say anything that he's trying to...
No, he's a good guy. I've worked with him before.
With a name like Piscopo, he's got to be Italian, right?
So... Oh, exactly. Right, definitely. All right. He hosts Sinatra on weekends up on syndicated. But on the show Holmes and Yo, was a streetwise cop and a robot partner played by John Shuck. And the only way to indicate that he was a real robot was when he opened his shirt up. Look, it's a TRS-80 calculator from Radio Shack. Yeah.
Oh, if you can't see it, okay.
No big deal.
Right there. There's Joe Piscopo. And... they love to do that back in the States. They love to show like the robots,
yes.
like from the future or anything. They still had like tubes in the side their stomach and things like that. Or they didn't even have transistors yet, so they'd have like wires going all over like that. But there's I can count on 100 fingers, how many times that cliche has come up. Because a popular movie at the time was Westworld.
Right, exactly right.
And
yes.
I think there was a one about a beautiful robot woman.
Oh, the Stepford Wives.
Okay, the Stepford Wives, and there was also another TV show about a robot.
Oh, yeah,
woman,
right, yeah.
With Julie Newmar.
Yes.
Okay, wow, Julie, and. She's one of our heroes, too, isn't she?
She's very pretty. Yes.
You got to have heroes, John.
She was Catwoman.
I mean, we appreciate all the people who, are out there being heroes. But sometimes you have to make your own heroes, okay? And Julie Newmar, in my book, okay, a wonderful human being.
She is. She's still around. And they made that movie with Patrick Swayze, John Leguizamo, and Wesley Snipes. Tu Wong Fu. When I was Love You All the Time, signed Julie Newmar.
Okay.
Something like that.
Julie Newmar looks, looks like she could be her whole life. She looked like she was in drag. Okay. She had those, she was tall and had sort of masculine.
Who was the big dancer? Julia Prowse or her?
Julia Prowse.
All right. There's parts of the show I don't want to talk about yet, but it's Sinatra and all the guys like that because she supposedly was well groomed. That's all I'll say. And
she shaved?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, well, you know, women have that problem. You know, it's not John. This is not not a place to discuss that. Okay?
But that is it.
Really,
for this
John? Hey, the
episode.
time really goes fast when. And if you subscribe and send us boxes, we want boxes to be sent here. We're going to put, can we at some time put where to send boxes? We want to unbox
1, 2, 3,
your
4,
box. And,
8th Street.
any kind of prop or any kind. You know, John, I collect magazines. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got issues. Okay. But right over there, send us anything, okay? We don't want something that smells bad or whatever. And ladies and gentlemen, this is John Kensil right over there, who I didn't know was so OG, old gangster, as he is. And this is the legendary Wit, and we're saying goodbye from Kensil Culture.